Let's be real about social media.
I'm more of a Twitter guy myself.
Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers. Hey. Trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers.
Hey, Twitter's lit though. I don't know about everything else.
Especially with Instagram going down last week.
Hey, shout out to Melvin though, like, cause he be owning with the memes.
No shout out, bro.
He too far, bro. I gotta shout him out for that one.
He took it too far.
If there's any two people that should not have,
I know. I let him know he took it too far, but it still was clever. I gotta give him props.
Y'all see my name, not Tony though.
Look, if it's any two people that don't need a Twitter right now, it's Donald Trump and Melvin Siakam or Seacom per Seacom.
Per Cal.
First Cal Seacom. Yeah, both of their ass. Nah, delete their Twitter accounts ASAP. Twitter.
I think Trump is off Twitter.
He's off.
Unfortunately, I miss him.
Do you?
Do you really?
I do. Y'all don't know how entertaining this was for me, bro.
The entertainment factor.
Okay, bro. Like he did an interview yesterday, was talking about people bringing AIDS. Bro.
From
you talking about crying, laughing. Oh boy, I wasn't serious.
I was the entertainment factor gotta be.
Man.
Well, Donald Trump did once get LiAngelo Ball and a couple of UCLA players out of jail overseas before. So, do you think he can help these guys who we're about to talk about now?
Yo, what a segue.
You want to talk about segues. Boy, that was a yoga stretch, but he made it happen.
Boy, Melvin must have just texted that one.
Y'all set it up, man. Y'all threw the alley. I just done.
You knocked the head out of that. You're in the preseason type shit.
Oh man. So if y'all ain't heard, y'all be under a rock. I think it was Thursday when all this stuff dropped. Thursday, Wednesday, one days, and all this news dropped. 18 former NBA players were charged with fraud. Headlined by Terrence Williams. He used to head of the organization, head of everything. If y'all don't know who Terrence Williams was, he played in Louisville. I used to like him. I thought he'd be cold in the league. He was a journeyman, played about 6 years, and he's not the never known as the brightest guy to be leading something like this. But here we go. And headliner for us was, of course, great Memphis Grizzly Tony Allen, who was supposed to get his jersey retired in January. Still is on tap to have it done, but we will see. Information might be changing on that end due to this whole scenario. But the players listed: Terrence Williams, Allen Anderson, Anthony Allen, Tony Allen, Shannon Brown. Everybody knows Shannon Brown is, played for the Lakers. Will Bynum, played for the Pistons. Melvin Ely, Chris Douglas Roberts, now his name Supreme Bay, University of Memphis. Yes, that's his Chris Douglas Roberts. Tony Roten, former Grizzly, former Bus draft pick from the Grizzlies. Tony, Anthony Roten for his real name.
Hey, he would have been better than Ben Simmons right now. I'm just saying.
All right, let me keep going. Milton Palacio, Sebastian Telfair, a name I actually wasn't shocked to see on this list. Antoine Wright, Darius Miles, another player that a lot of people did like. Ruben Patterson, former Trailblazer, former Jailblazer, back in the days with Zippo and them. Gregory Smith, which probably was the funniest story of everybody on this list, how he got caught. Glenn Big Baby Davis, who is denying his allegations, of course, and Jamario Moon. We got Trevor.
Nah, I'm appalled. I don't know who you want to start with. Just whoever wants to start, just go, because this is hilarious.
I don't even have a question. It's just like, what was y'all thought when y'all first saw this news? We can start with Toot, Sheedy, Trevor, or Trevor, Sheedy, Toot.
To be honest, I still don't know what the hell is going on. It's just like, hold on, NBA players got caught scheming on the low. Like, yay. And that's why my name is like, hey, a man got to do what a man got to do. Like, if you feel like you got to finesse the world, the doctors and whatever, to add a quick buck. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. But no, seriously, I honestly, like, it's something I still gotta, I guess, in a way, research on. But like, I still don't know like the legit part of how they get called. Most of these players been out the league at least 5 years, and now all this stuff is coming about. It's kind of like a head scratcher,
So just to give more information, it was everything happened between 2017 to 2020. Apparently, the players basically, Terrence Williams provided false and fake invoices, which the story is even funny on that end, talking about they have letterhead, misspellings in the invoices and all type of stuff. Terrence Williams basically provided the players with invoices. In return, they paid him a portion of what they got back. They used these invoices. They sent them to doctors. So they used the out-of-network provider from the NBA. So they put in the claim saying they got this work done. NBA, they go back to the NBA saying, put in a claim, I guess, put in a reimbursement to get reimbursed the money to pay the out-of-pocket provider, the out-of-network provider, which, of course, what they do, they pocketed the money from the NBA. So they basically stole from the NBA.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
these folks. You go.
Yeah, these folks are like real deal scamming the NBA, man, out of $4 million, which is hilarious. I don't even know what to make of this. I think the Big Baby one was hilarious when they had his name misspelled, and I think they had him and 2 other players. It was both. Tony Allen's on the list too,
and Tony Roten. All 3 of them.
It was recorded that all 3 of them had all got root canals on the same tooth on the same day. Like, come on, if you're gonna scam, like, at least like pay attention. You got to pay attention to like every detail, man, because all this stuff can be tracked. And what eventually led to them getting caught was they were tracking like GPSs and all the invoices and everything, and it showed that none of these guys were at the spots that they claimed that they were at. So I don't know. I think Big Baby Davis has come out and denied it. CDR has come out and denied it on Twitter. I haven't heard from anybody else, so this could get serious. Honestly, like they talking about fair charges. Go ahead, Shark.
Also, Tony Allen. So I guess Tony Allen pretty much admitted to it. He paid back $350,000 or the $420,000.
Yeah,
and his wife was also charged as well. I think she was the only outside. Hey. She was the only a player. She was the only person who was not a player that was charged.
Hey, Jalen Rose said, keep getting them checks. You got to get them some way somehow. So hey, it is what it is. Oh man, that's pretty much all I have. Like, this is just so hilarious that this was happening. And then I'm not going to even talk about Sebastian Telfair because when this came out, his name was the first name that popped in my head. Like the very first name. I was like, I will bet everything in my pocket that Sebastian Telfair is on this list. And lo and behold, that ended up being the case. And one last thing before I pass it to Sheedy, whoever did the Monica meme for Shannon Brown, that was hilarious. Some folks said they had Monica doing the little when she was doing the verses, and it was like Monica making her way to the Fed prison to meet up with her. All right, I'm done. Go.
Wow. Yeah. The thing that showed me the most about this news was our own Tony Allen. The rest of these players don't get me wrong, Tony Allen's like a role player too, but like the rest of these players were just players. And it's like, man, to your point, too, got to make money any way you can. But we're in a society, we're in a country that tracks paper and the paper trail. So one wrong mistake, man, and, people are going to pull up things, no matter if it's this year, last year. There's, I don't know if we're going to talk about this or not, but something from 2011 that's happening with the NFL as well. And it's all paper related. Like if you put something down on paper, this just goes to show you, put something on paper or put something on social media, it's going to come back some way, somehow, eventually. So you have to watch what you do. It's unfortunate, but that's the times that we live in. You would have to worry about this back in 96, 97, right? Nobody was really tracking things like this. And social media wasn't that big of a deal. But the moment Facebook, and all the other Black Panther kind of phased itself out, right, and Facebook and everything like that, this became a way for us to track everyone's behavior. So it's just unfortunate. You just got to watch what you post, watch what you say, and clearly watch what you do.
My thing is, be smart. If you're gonna be a criminal, be smart. They deserve to be on World's Dumbest Criminals on this one. Like Gregory Smith, the story, Gary Parrish is tripping off this story. This man filed a claim that he was at a doctor in Beverly Hills getting some work done, right? He was at the same time. All they did was track these players' phones to see what they had plays at the time. They said they were at the time. He was in Taiwan playing a basketball game. They pulled up box scores to prove that he wasn't where he was supposed to be at the time he made the claim. A box score.
You think we're gonna see any of them in the Just Busted newspapers?
In the what?
In the newspaper, well, they still got them to Just Busted. When you go to the gas station,
I don't know. This I don't think any of these guys live in Memphis, and like I said, it's gonna fit.
Tony Allen did.
Tony Allen did. Okay, so you may see TA. Oh man,
why TA, my guy, man? Why he had to be him?
I know think the Grizzlies still. I mean, I think the Grizzlies still retire his jersey. The reason I ask is because, I still even he wasn't playing during the time, and I know it's kind of like an embarrassment for the league and everything, but still for the city of Memphis, honestly, probably Memphis still embrace him even more now in no way.
That's a typical Memphis. So yeah.
They will. But it just might not happen on the day. It might not happen this season anymore, right? Because he might be in jail at the time of the retirement now. And he actually works for the team. He works for he trains, I think, Memphis Hustle. He's like a strength and conditioning coach or something.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
We got to see what happens if they still keep him on staff. So it's a whole bunch of things that could come from this. So,
hey man, Pau Gasol, you can still do a jersey retirement. Pau Gasol is still available.
Hey.
So I'm just saying.
I guess. He did retire. Shout out to Pau. Great career.
Right. I feel like Pau Gasol was underrated as a Memphis.
Very much so.
Him to play a certain way, he didn't. We won here and there, but his greatness happened when he played with greater players. So, like Kobe said, you can't win 2 titles without Pau Gasol, and I strongly believe don't.
That's true.
Yeah, we and one of the things because this just popped in my head a while ago, a couple of days ago. We talk about his Memphis run. We talk about his run with the Lakers, obviously, but a very underrated run for Powell was that 14-15 season when he was in Chicago. That was a squad that year. He was an all-star that year because it was Powell, D Rose, Jimmy Butler was coming to his own. He was
Joakim Noah.
I think it was his first all-star game that year. Powell was all-star that year as well. So basically, it was the old school Bulls from 2011 with Tills with Powell, and that was a very underrated squad. Now, of course, they pushed the Cavs to the brink, but of course, the Cavs eventually went to the finals. But if you can, go check out Powell when he was with the Bulls, man. That's some underrated stuff there.
Cool. So next up, hopefully, like I said, we hope the best for Tony though. Hopefully. Like I said, Chris Vernon, I know he hit him hard and watched the show. He was doing Tuesdays with Tony. He's friends with Tony Allen. He just man, people mess up. Yeah, he my friend. Hope he just playing for his wife, his kids, and like I said, his wife died as well. So just a rough day for everyone. But we'll probably speak more about Pau Gasol starting 5. So actually, that's a good topic to bring up on starting 5.
Cool.
But next up, Tuke.
Yes, sir. So if you guys have been sleeping under a rock, one of LBR's biggest commandments is if a person shows you who they are, damn it, believe them. You all have been right about Urban Meyer from the jump and saying that he won't be in the NFL for long. And apparently what's going on now is y'all are being spot on. So he was caught at a club in Ohio. And I guess the DJ played Future Stick Talk because he took the quote, "I'm going to put my thumb in her butt," literal. And that's what he did. And somebody got him on film doing so. And now, he coming out with another apology. His wife is saying we're all sinners. So he who cast the first stone, all that. So she got a man's back. But on a football part, how do y'all feel about Urban Meyer, and how soon do y'all see him being out the league? Because y'all were the ones that said he wasn't going to be in long. So give me a time say about how long how much longer y'all give him in the league, and your thoughts about this whole video putting his thumb up a woman's butt. That's not his wife, by the way. We saw with Tunica Trevor and she.
I originally gave him 2 years, but look, like it's gonna be one, if that. The Jags are really. Let's start back from the beginning. He didn't fly back with the team after that game against the Bengals, and he said he was staying to visit his grandkids, which he probably did. But he also did other stuff afterward. Kind of like Santana Lou Will when he possibly went to his grandma's funeral. He probably did, but he also went to the strip club to get his Lou Will lemon pepper Lou on as well. So Urban Meyer just got his lemon pepper Lou on. He got caught in 4K. So I give him. I gotta give him the rest of this season. Maybe he might not last past tomorrow, honestly, but it's depending on how the game goes against us. But hey, I give him 1 year.
Urban Meyer doesn't finish this season. I don't think he finishes this season. And I'd be surprised if he's not fired within the next 3 weeks, and then within the next 3 months he's at USC. If there is a bet on whether or not Urban Meyer will become the next coach of the USC Trojans, I am putting money on that. That's a Tunica Trevor stamp. Like, do not be surprised by February or March of next year that guy is the new coach of the Trojans.
So do you think he's acting out just to get out of their situation with the Jags, and so he can go ahead and get signed to USC?
100%, because this isn't the first time that this has happened with him. Like, we know the situation, because everywhere he's gone, as far as on the college ranks, he's done something that's put that team, or in this case with the Jags, the organization, like in some kind of bind. And then the first site that he's able to run, he's gone. Like, he did it at Utah, he did it at Florida, he did it at Ohio State. He's doing it now in Jacksonville. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if he's not fired within the next couple of weeks and then he's back at USC. And it just goes to show you, man, because shout out to Savage, because he tweeted this. Urban Meyer, with 0 NFL experience and 0 coaching and playing, was able to get this job, but yet Eric Bieniemy, who's the current OC for the Kansas City Chiefs, who rightfully so deserves to be a head coach, still continues to be an OC for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, and I want to make sure my head doesn't start burning. As much flack as we gave Lane Kiffin for all the antics he pulled, like this takes the cake with Urban Meyer. I'm just gonna be honest, like, at least in Lane's defense. And again, oh my God, I can't believe I'm defending Lane Kiffin with a Vols hat on. In his defense, at least he went and tried to get it done on the field, and he's done it thus far at Ole Miss, and has been doing it since his stop in Knoxville. But yeah, Urban Meyer, I wouldn't be surprised if they send him his papers after the game against the Titans, and then by March he's probably going to be on at USC. It's just that simple.
Yeah, Urban Meyer is close to not like touching. I don't think anyone is really touching Nick Saban in regards to career in the NCAA, but his reign is pretty supreme when you look at what he's done in the NCAA. And he should have stayed his butt with the NCAA, or kept an analyst type of position that he had. Mm-hmm. As I alluded to earlier, and as this podcast is talking about, the title of the show is social media. Everything you do is going to be recorded. Every step that you make is someone's going to say something. And like, even to the extent, like, yes, he's a head football coach. I'm a teacher. Like, I wouldn't went out in public and been drunk in public, because if I see one of my students, or if I see one of my families, like, oh, there goes Mr. Riley with his drunk ass out here, I don't think I want to send my kid to that school. It's just an image thing. He wasn't doing right by his image. Now the story was that he's with his grandkids, right? That was part of the story. But then like a girl came over and gave him a dance at the bar. I didn't see you, Urban Meyer, push her away like a married man should. I didn't see it. And that's all you got to do. Like if someone would have saw you do that, it wouldn't be that bad because like you can't force them. If someone's on you, push them away, turn away. Instead, you in there getting jiggy with it like you Will Smith. So by all means, I don't believe he got signed a 5-year deal. I at worst, 2 years is him. He doesn't make it past the season, but I also don't think anyone takes a chance on him right now, including USC. I know USC needs, a brand name coach. I think they just need to wait out this season because I think they can get somebody to come on back to them again. But yeah, Urban Meyer, if you would have just a slight shove, if someone would have saw you disagreeing with what she was doing with you, we would probably kind of be like with you again. Because that just it happens. But, well, it doesn't happen. But, I mean, if you push her away, we're not thinking that you're enjoying this. Instead, the theory is you're enjoying this. She's younger than you, younger than your wife probably, well, surely. And this is what you're doing at night. So I just will keep it there. God bless Urban Meyer for what he did for Ohio State. But he ain't with Ohio State no more.
And got a picture snapped up with him. Freaks come out at night.
Fully
what?
That's the truth.
And this all I had, and you kind of took the point like right out of my mouth. Like, why would USC want to give Urban Meyer a chance? After leaving certain programs in this May, and then the embarrassment that he's causing in the NFL. Like, why would another team give him a shot?
Desperation. They have been good since they haven't been like elite since a certain time. And Urban Meyer, all his college stops has been elite. So I can still see them. I agree with y'all. I don't see why would they after all of this, but after they haven't been at the certain level for so long, USC is one of those premier programs. They're like, nah, we need to hurry up and get back there. So I can very well see them still doing it.
Like his wife said, we're all sinners. So I hope y'all go to church tomorrow.
All right. So let's listen. We're gonna extend the time, keep it real talk for a second since something popped up just yesterday. A couple of these last minute additions with the fraud case, and now yesterday with John Gruden, Savage, new team, not new team no more. Mr. Information has changed. Person who's now on his podcast. Yeah, I'm probably
man.
Savage team agency.
That man right there. What? All right, Sheedy, you want to have more explanation into it, John Gruden?
Sure, yeah. I read a little bit into this. I wasn't sure if we would or discuss it. But John Gruden basically sent an email to it was in 2011 to the NFLPA, and pretty much it was a derogatory comment. Again, everything's in writing, and called him something wrong lines like Michelin lips.
Yeah, something lips as big as Michelin tires.
Michelin tires,
Michelin tires.
Yeah, and so
he called him dumb. His name is DeMaurice Smith. Now it's coming to my mind. His name is DeMaurice Smith, the NFLPA president, and he said he called him dumb Morris, like DUMB Morris Smith, to start off the tweet. No, start off the email. It was email, actually.
Right? Email. I was about to say, yeah, it was an email. In 2011, and then using the Michelin, basically his lips are like the Michelin tires, and so John Gruden tried to back that up by saying he calls everyone like rubber lips for certain things. Either way, it just doesn't boast well. And then when you're talking about African Americans, then you have something that's black like a tire. And talk about somebody's lips like that. That's a no-go. This happened in 2011. Which was not when he was a coach. This is when he was an analyst for Monday Night Football, which we all know there are better analysts there now. I don't know who watches ESPN2, but I love it.
They cut it off to 25.
Yeah. The contract was longer. But anyways, that's the controversy that's out there. John Gruden said he's met with the organization, met with the president for the Raiders, and is going to meet with him again. They haven't discussed any consequences, so we're not sure right now if the Raiders are going to get ahead of this and give consequences to John Gruden, or if they're going to wait for the NFL to go ahead and give consequences and follow up from there. John Gruden has also said he's identified and told his team what's going on and has been transparent about that. And so, I mean, I don't have much more besides that information that has been spilled and came across my desk, a little memo, but I can definitely follow up later on about that. But I mean, again, there's just no anything that you hit send on or submit or post have to understand that once it's out there in the atmosphere, it doesn't matter if you deleted it. Someone else could have taken a screenshot, and now 7 billion people have access to that. And that's just one thing that I love to tell students. Like, I know you guys want to talk about this, that, and the third, but understand that what you do even now, even that, you know, you could be young age of 14, 15. People can go back on your Facebook and see how wild you were and may not hire you for certain positions. Many jobs look at social media nowadays. They won't tell you that, but they look up for your name, and then they see what you have posted. And that could be the determination whether or not you have a job or not. You know what I mean? So if you're listening, ladies and gentlemen, please keep that in mind. Everything that you hit post, submit for will have a consequence if you decide to be unprofessional in any way, shape, or form.
And to follow up with that one, I think I got something to say. Most jobs have social medias now. Like my job, I'm like on the social media team at my job. So most, not all jobs actually have their own social media marketing team. So they are definitely looking at candidates on social media as well, like you said.
Yeah, just to keep it short, honestly, I don't feel like anything could happen. Like, it was 10 years ago. We know how the NFL like to protect people that don't look like us but have a troubled past. So, I mean, John Gruden has been honestly a distraction for the Raiders organization since he's been in, especially when he got in and shipped Khalil Mack out. You know, if he ain't been, you know, asked to leave, then, you know, an email, you know, is crazy. And, you know, I don't have a racist bone in my body, but as racist as it was, I mean, he still got a job. So, I mean, it was 10 years ago. I don't see too much happening to him, to be honest with you. So it's just another day to be black watching white NFL do this, what the NFL normally does. So, I mean, yeah.
Players and personnel have gotten off for worse. So I really don't see much happening here with John Gruden here. Was it egregious? Was it racist? Yes, absolutely. But as Two just alluded to, you know how the NFL is. They're gonna do whatever it is to protect the shield, number one. But they're also going to protect those that are the light shade, as she also alluded to as well. So I don't see much happening here for John Gruden. I'm just going to keep it 100 there. So
yeah, I agree too. It's been 10, like I said, 10 years. When I first saw it, I was like 10 years ago. Now we always bring it back up old stuff, and yeah, it's racist everything. I was like, it happened 10 years ago. It's kind of why it took out 10 years to get this email to bust out.
Change behavior is the best apology. Let's remember that. Change behavior. You can say you're sorry all. Hey, wifey from Vegas.
Lifting it up.
Okay. Anywho,
Since
we're talking Vegas,
get it.
Yeah, I was like perfect time. That's why I was trying to say perfect timing. Like Vegas, your wife. Dang, where's my wife at? You about to sign in?
Shout out to my wife. So since we're talking Vegas, not the greatest week for you. Shoot, another bad week. Last week, I think I only had maybe 2 or 3 games hit. The Vols definitely being one of them. Cincinnati, of course, taking care of business at Notre Dame, and I believe those were the only 2. Unfortunately, so
no more Memphis Tigers. No more Memphis Tigers.
I'm gonna do a local bets. I'm just gonna list them off. Bet at your own risk. That's all I'm gonna say there. No more Memphis bets and no more Pac-12 bets because they costing me some money.
I watched the Oregon guy too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the difference. But anyway, but that brings my record on the season to 12-11. So I'm still over 500 right now. But The losses are starting to pile up. This week is just going to be the usual suspects week as far as the bets are concerned. I'm going to do a 2-2, two college, two pros. And again, I'm going to list the local bets. Bet on those at your own risk. Starting with the college ranks, like I said, usual suspects. Probably the easiest one, I'm just going to be honest with you. Alabama, 17.5-point favorite at Texas A&M. Alabama is just showing they're the best team in the country right now. Texas A&M, they can't put up points. They're not going to be able to score. It may be slow early, but I expect Alabama to kind of pull away late and cover that spread easily. So take Alabama there. Second one, Toots, Texas Longhorns. Texas and Oklahoma is playing today, big time rivalry game. They're over under right now. FanDuel is set at 65. Look to take the over there because Texas is putting up 40, and these games are usually big time. They're usually up in the high 30s to 40s, especially in the Big 12. Of course, you know what Oklahoma's kind of been up and down, but with Texas and with this being the game and Texas averaging around 40 points a game, definitely look to take the over there over 65.5. Shifting things to the NFL. Another one of our fellow co-hosts teams is on. I will look at the Dallas Cowboys at home as a touchdown favorite against the New York Giants. This is a great spot for Dallas. This is a great spread for Dallas. 7 Dallas has looked great over the past couple of weeks. Of course, they're coming off the big win against the Panthers. The Giants are just somehow existing somehow. They're not playing for Joe Judge. So that's a much easier one for Dallas to cover. And then lastly, I'm looking at New England at Houston. New England right now is an 8.5-point favorite. They can literally win this game just by scoring 17 points against Houston. Houston can't move the ball on offense. We all know Bill Belichick is how he is on the defensive side of the ball. You just need New England really to just score 2 touchdowns and they cover. And I think New England can do that against Houston. Just score 2 touchdowns, you cover. It's pretty much it. So those are my NFL and college. Now, the local bets for today, bet on them at your own risk. So as we mentioned, the Tigers today are at Tulsa. They are a 3.5-point underdog at Tulsa. Of course, Memphis is coming off of the huge loss to Temple. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Underdog.
Yeah, 3.5-point underdog. Yeah,
it's Tulsa 1-4. Boy, we fell a long way, style.
Yeah. I'll fact check and make sure that it's still.
It probably is. It's a road game, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a road game, but yep. 3.5-point underdogs at Tulsa, who's 1-4. That goes to show. The Vols coming off a blowout win at Mizzou are a 10.5-point favorite at home today against South Carolina in the blackout jerseys.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. If it was lower, if it was 3 or possibly even 7 or a touchdown, I probably would have taken 10.5. That's a lot for a Vols team, even though they had put up 62 against Missouri. Missouri, like I said last week, the worst rushing defense in the SEC. Yep. It showed
in the country.
Oh, in the country, and it showed last week against the Vols. And then, of course, Sunday, the Titans are a 4.5-point favorite at Jacksonville. Pretty easy to cover, but judging from the Titans, man, the Titans are kind of shaky, kind of up and down. Of course, they had that bad loss to the Jets. And, of course, that record of Mike Vrabel being 0-4 against rookie quarterbacks, that kind of sticks out, too. So I would steer away from those. But those are the local bets. Bet on those at your own risk. The other 4, I would definitely look to take those. So,
yeah, I mean, depending on how rejuvenated Urban Meyer is, we'll see how he does in the team.
He should be good now. He should be well and good.
Yeah. I can say is So after last week, I wouldn't expect the Titans to have lay another egg, and Derrick Henry loves playing against the Jags. But he did have 157 yards last week in a loss, so that could mean not being that much either.
Yeah,
So, I do.
But I'll run the not the local ones back, but I'll run the other ones back. College over under, take the over for Texas, Oklahoma. Take Alabama to cover the spread at 17.5. For the pros, the Patriots at 8.5 over Houston. Cowboys touchdown favorite against the Giants. So there you go.
I do got a question about the bet. I just happened to come across this line. Florida are 39 points favorites over Vanderbilt. So you take that or not take that?
This is the same Vanderbilt team in the SEC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I know Vanderbilt is bad, but
Vanderbilt is hey, to be honest, I would take Vanderbilt to stay within 39.
That's what I'm thinking. 39 is a lot, man. Like
that was a lot. Don't get me wrong. Florida is pretty good. I know they beat the Vols. I know they lost to Kentucky. They're pretty good. 39.5 against Vandy. I don't know. If it was 20, yes, but Florida putting up 40. I don't know. I'll check. I have to check that out, man. But
I haven't seen a lot of their offense though either to do that.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I honestly would lean more towards Vandy staying with the 39.
Because even against Tennessee was in the game. They kind of just ran away with it.
Yeah, Tennessee was there. Like
it was a 10-point game in the fourth quarter, and they scored 2 late touchdowns to make it look like it was worse than the final score was. Then Kentucky, then you look at the stats last week. Kentucky, I don't know if you don't. I didn't actually get to see the game. I know they had like a block. They had a kick return for touchdown. But if you just look at the stats, you like, how did Kentucky win that game?
Man, because there's 3 phases of football. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Ooh-wee. I said it's almost great, but boy, if things broke different, Tennessee could be undefeated right now. But that's a different story.
If we started a certain quarterback in the Pittsburgh game, we definitely would just have one loss.
Oh yeah, because we get pit down 21-0, it's a wrap.
Well, if we had the right quarterback in, not overthrowing people.
But those are my bets of the week. Like I said, the local bets, do with those at your own risk, because Memphis and Tennessee play with their food too much. I'm sorry.
No, like Trevor is pretty. I mean, you say you're 500 with your bets. I know in our picks, we're not necessarily over 500. I don't know if anybody else, maybe 2. I don't know. I need to get Skyler. He need to give us the data, but
we need Skyler for them numbers. I guess we'll get them next week.
I know I'm not
right.
I know.
Yeah, we need to check to see where we all at.
I had a couple over 3 weeks. I know I'm not. But
well, let's try to see how we can do this week. It starts with 1 game at a time, fellas, and we have 3 games on the slate. And who knows? Maybe some of these teams may show up again when we talk about our week 5 power rank. Well, through week 4, now going to week 5 power rankings as well. But our first game up is going to be, it's an early game. It's I always want to say the Redskins, Washington football team versus New Orleans Saints. Both teams are 2-2. We're at Washington. We're at the Capitol. Who do you have winning in the chat? Tunica Trevor, Sharky, and then I'll go last since Skylar's in here.
Give me Washington. Ron Rivera has played against Jameis Winston a bunch. I'm pretty sure he knows how he is, and especially with the defense that he has. And give me Washington.
I haven't watched neither one of these teams enough to really come up with a legit analysis on this pick. As Tuke said, Ron Rivera has played against Jameis Winston time and time again, but I also noticed that Sean Payton has not really allowed Jameis Winston to kind of open up the playbook and just let Jameis be Jameis.
That's true.
Just for the sake, I'm going to take the Saints in this game. I think this is finally that one game that I think Sean Payton has gotten to a point where he can trust Jameis and just let Jameis be Jameis just a little bit. It'll be close. I'll take the Saints by 3 here. I'll take it 2017. New Orleans.
Man, both teams 2-2. The Saints, everybody talked about the Titans' bad loss last week. They may have had, if not a worse, just as worse, because they lost at home to the Giants. In a comeback fashion at that. It was comeback fashion our game too. So, give me, and Washington came off a win. They barely beat the Falcons, who we know presumed to be good. Washington overall has been disappointing this year, their defense, but the Saints have been up and down. Washington is at home, so give me the Redskins. Give me the football team to defense to finally get it on track. I'm pretty sure he's not letting James be James, because if we know what James is when he's James.
Yeah,
he gonna get some yards and touchdowns. He'll
get some yards and touchdowns, but he gonna throw some picks. Yeah, but I think it pays off though. I think it pays.
Yeah, it's kind of hindering him though, because it's a little too conservative.
Yeah,
it's hurting that run game, because Alvin Kamara, he's having yards wise, he's like 6th in the league, but I think he's like,
it's not the Alvin Kamara that we are accustomed to seeing.
I think it's like 3.8 per carry, or I think his average per carry is like 3.8. It's low.
Yeah, and teams are loading up because they're not letting Jameis be Jameis. It's not going deep with the ball. I saw a tweet someone said, "Would you rather take Austin Eckler or Alvin Kamara right now?" Give me Austin all day, every day right now, at least in this season, because I haven't seen a top 10 Alvin Kamara yet. With this game, the Saints also were embarrassing from week 1 to week 2. They showed out in week 1 against the Packers, and then pretty much laid a goose egg in week 2. Of course, that was way back in the past. The common denominator here is the Giants. One team has beat them, one team has not. So actually, just give me Washington for this win. So I'm gonna put this down for us to keep track as well. Next up, we have Tuke's favorite team, the Browns.
Second favorite. Hold on, disrespect. Come on, bro.
Of the
Tuke's
AFC.
favorite AFC team.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Of the AFC, you got the Browns going against the Chargers, which is probably going to be one of the better games that happen in the middle of the day. Who you got winning? Actually, also want to make sure we put this out there. Both teams are 3-1. Who will be 3-2, and who will be 4-1? Too. Go ahead.
So I'm actually going to pick against the Browns. You won't find me do this too many times in the season. Hey, I was right last week. Hold on. I was right last week. So y'all better chill. Chill. Hey, but no, like the Chargers are really playing some really good football. Defensively, they're there. Offensively, they know their identity. They know exactly what they are. Even though the Browns have won, they won last week against the Vikings and a couple weeks against the Bears. It's something missing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something missing. That's me coming as a Baker fan. As somebody who like the Browns. It's just something missing. And the Chargers, they know exactly who they are. Shout out to their coach for developing game plans for them to beat the Raiders and the Chiefs. So I'm gonna have to roll with the Chargers, unfortunately.
Welcome to the AFC North, sir, where none of the teams there are what they expect to be.
That is true. That is true.
Welcome to the AFC North, sir. To Tu's point, I mean, the Browns really only looked good in week 1, and that was a loss against the Chiefs. And I think Baker is still banged up a little bit with the shoulder. I know he's expecting to play, but he's not connecting on a lot of the throws that he's probably more accustomed to connecting on. I do expect their defense to show up, but I just think the Chargers take this one. I wouldn't say easily. I definitely would go with a touchdown, at least. Chargers they're just rolling right now. They're looking like one of the best teams in the AFC right now. So give me the Chargers.
Let me be a little bit different. I know Baker Mayfield's going through this partially torn labrum or fully torn. Yeah, something. News came out the other day. That defense, though. That Browns defense, though. Golly. I know Justin Herbert is doing good. But I just have a feeling the Chargers are the Chargers, man. The Chargers always find a way to charge. They look good right now. But the Chargers always do some stuff. I always say they're the ALC version of the Cowboys. What can't go wrong, will go wrong. It goes the same for the Chargers. They just never talked about because they have no fans at the game. Right.
They really don't. Like it was Raider Nation last Monday. It was not pretty. Even I think it was 2 seasons ago when the Steelers played the Chargers, and I think this was before they moved to LA. It was more Steelers fans there than Chargers fans. So yeah,
straight up. So give me the Browns.
Taking the Browns,
the pound. Get that running game going. Keep Justin Justin Herbert off the field. And their defense, Myles Garrett, and yes, I'm saying it's Jadeveon Clowney going to get after Justin Herbert and get the win for him.
Yeah, man. Things that travel well no matter what. Defense and running games. And the Browns actually have that. And they're going to travel well. They're just going to run into this onside that I think is the Chargers. So let's go Chargers. And give me the Chargers.
Go Chargers, go.
Give me the Chargers to be 4-1 and wrap up the Browns at 3-2 in the AFC North. And our last pick, which will be the Sunday night game, we have the Bills and the Chiefs. I think these are two teams that were not. I know these are two teams that were contending in the AFC last year. Can still be potentials this year. Bills are 3-1. Chiefs are 2-2. I think everyone's giving their best to the Chiefs. But where do we stand with that?
I'm going Bills. I told y'all coming into the season that may have been the chink in the armor after Tom Brady beat them, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And the Bills, I believe, are averaging the most points in the NFL right now at 35. So I don't think the Chiefs can have enough on defense to stop that. So I'm definitely rolling with top 5 Allen and the Bills.
The Bills should be 4-0 right now. I'm sorry.
Hey man, y'all got y'all win, bro. Be proud.
I will take the win.
Be proud.
I will take the win.
Be proud.
4-0. Yeah, they're putting up some points and they're putting them up in bunches. Just putting up pretty much, I think, 35 plus against their last 3 opponents against Houston. Of course, it's Houston, Miami, and Washington. The Tuke's point, I think, is a chink in the armor with Kansas City. Something's missing there with Kansas City. I can't figure it out just yet. So I'm gonna go with the Bills. Bills keep it rolling.
Dollar bill, y'all. I actually, man, look at the Bills. I commend them. They do something the Titans and the Saints don't apparently do. They beat the opponents they're supposed to beat, and they beat them handedly. They scored 40 points against the Texans. Bravo. They scored 35 against the Dolphins. Bravo. Now they 4-3 against Washington. Washington defense has been looking shaky this year. If they don't get the pass rush on, you're getting down the field. So bravo to them for beating the opponents they're supposed to beat and beating them handily. I wish the Titans would follow suit. We don't, but we step up when we play the big teams. The Chiefs, y'all can say everything y'all want about chink in the armor. Yeah. It's 4 games to the season. They're going to get it rolling. The defense hasn't been good. The defense hasn't been good the last 3 years, and they still won the Super Bowl. So give me the Chiefs to get ready to turn everything around. And even when they do lose, it's still barely. Like Baltimore beat them by 1. Then when they lost the Chargers, it was at the end. Like
that Baltimore game though, like you.
But they still like
you gotta kind of have that one. I mean, it's Baltimore. Don't get me wrong, but
Baltimore had to finally beat them. It was kind of time.
Lamar needed that.
They finally had to beat them.
Okay, yeah. Shout out Lamar Jackson.
It was coming.
Yeah, but to your point, man, the Bills. You want to say they should be 4-0? Great. If you want to say that, well, let's be honest here. The point differential is amazing for the Buffalo Bills, and that goes to show the offense and defense. And to your point, Sharky, they're beating the teams. They're not just beating the teams that's supposed to. They are suffocating them.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh yeah, they can get a field goal in, or they can get a touchdown in.
Nah.
No.
2 shutouts.
Yes, exactly. And so for me, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I agree. I know they're going to get this thing rolling. I know they're going to be someone to contend with. This is an Arrowhead. So give me the Chiefs to win this game as a bounce back game for them. Yes, sir. We're there. It's Sunday Night Football. The lights are on. So yeah, give me Patty Mahomes, even though he hates when people call him that. Patrick Mahomes to win this one somehow, somewhere. Now,
Patrick Mahomes Jr.
Oh, or the second, whatever he wants.
He's a junior.
Yeah.
And the second.
Let me take a picture of this so that all these bets are here. So Skylar can't say we didn't have that. But going
I'm surprised he didn't give his pick since he wasn't going to be on this week.
You might just forgot.
I'll check. Yeah.
Yeah.
What we will check is our power rankings, because that's where things get fun. I do need the ability to share my screen, so give me a second, fellas. These are 2 monitors. Okay, well, I don't have 2 monitors, so you're gonna have to do that. All right.
I really just want to see these records though, because I know they're terrible.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so power rankings again. These are through week 4. Yeah, I know there's the Bills right there. I get it, but it was the best picture I can find, so don't hate on me. But what I'll do is we're gonna go through LBR's top 5, and then there's gonna be a place where we each look at each other's picks and have a discussion in regards to that. Pick one. Birds flying high. Kyler Murray, that offense and defense are undefeated. No matter who's placed in front of them, no matter if they're playing in LA, no matter what's going on, they are 4-0. It was unanimous. We all had them as the number 1 team in the league, which they have earned. Thanks to Trevor, things got dicey.
Of course.
Starting with number 2. Circle the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. This should be the second best team in the league. We have all agreed and put it at certain points. We just said that they should have. I said they should have been almost 4-0. Kind of agreed. Beat a Steelers. She lost to the Steelers team and haven't looked back since after that. And that defense is looking pretty punishing on both sides and offense. Now, when it comes to third place, we have a tie, but I got a 3A and a 3B, and you'll see why. 3A has got to be the Rams. Why? Because they beat the Buccaneers. Right. And so I got the Rams at 3A and the Buccaneers at 3B, which was voted upon by us as the third and fourth seed, but we'll call them 3B for now, respectfully. And at the 5th seed, Tuke, you'll be happy.
Oh, nice.
Yes, he will be. How about them Cowboys?
Gotti.
For the 5th seed in the NFL, voted upon by those of us in the LBR community. Now, of course, this isn't done. Now, this is where we defer. This is where things get interesting. So this next slide is going to show the difference between the 2 buys that are not on here today, but I'll give us a chance to look over their picks. The picks are not going to be their top 5 because we all agreed about the top pick. So it's really going to be the top 4 from each person. So Savage versus Skyler. As we can see, Savage has the Bucks at number 2, respectfully. So, Cowboys were 3, Chargers were 4, and Bills at 5. Where Skyler put the Bills at number 2, they agreed about the Cowboys. He put the Bucks at 4, and he found a way for Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Smith to get there with the Packers for this. Now, again, this is not for us to have a discourse about because the next slide, I will give discourse for those 2 individuals. Speaking of which, Sharky and Trevor. Sharky has the Rams at 2, Bucks at 3, Cowboys at 4, Chargers at 5.
Go, Chargers, go.
While Trevor says the Bills are the second best team, followed by the Bucks. You guys both agree there. Packers snuck in with you as well. And the last minute scratch, you put the Rams in 4-5. We'll start with Sharky. Just why your list is the way it is. And then Trevor, you can go after that.
Well, I got notes.
Yeah,
Of course, Because the Cards are first because they're undefeated and they beat the Rams. Basically, so my list kind of went off of took strength of schedule into play. That's why the Bills are now top 5. And everybody played each other, kind of. So it was like the Cards beat the Rams beat the Bucks beat the Cowboys beat the Chargers. And I actually had right on the outside, I was playing teams. The Panthers lost to the Cowboys. The Raiders lost to the Chargers. The Ravens lost to the Raiders. And probably should have lost to the Lions. A win is a win, but that was luck. And the Bills, like I said, who have they beaten for me to put them over any of these teams? They haven't beaten anybody that I could be like, they've dominated teams. So definitely credit there, but that's on the reason I didn't have them. And same thing, Broncos, Browns, Packers, and Bengals. They really ain't beat nobody for me to put them over any of these teams.
Well, in my case, to Sharky's last point about the Buffalo Bills is why I had them as second. Like, yeah, they had that outlier loss against the Steelers to start the season, but they've hit the ground running. And they're not, again, these teams are not look good to start the season, but they're not just beating these teams. They're like sending them outside for a switch and beating them and sending them back outside to get a better switch. Like, that's how bad Buffalo has done these teams. The Bucks, of course, we agreed there. They haven't slipped off too much. They lost handedly to the Rams, but of course they bounced back with the win in Foxborough. Green Bay has still looked great. Kind of similar with the Bills. Just kind of bounced back from that outlier loss against the Saints to start the season. So that's kind of there. Then the last spot was really tough because I originally had the Ravens, but it was really a tie between the Rams, the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Panthers, and the Raiders, so forth and so forth. I eventually went with the Rams because it was their first loss of the season. Yeah, granted, it was to a better Arizona team, and Arizona kind of beat them convincingly. And I know this is through week 4, but if you watch the game on Thursday night, you will probably see why the Rams are in my top 5. So, but I'm pretty sure when we come out with week 5's power rankings, this is definitely going to change. So just information changes around here a lot. Yeah, so, hey, it is what it is.
It does. And thank you guys. Last 2 will be myself and Tuke. Tuke, I will let you go first, and then I'll follow up. Tuke decided to put the Rams at 2, Cowboys 3, Bills 4, Chargers at 5, where I put the Bills second, Rams third, Ravens 4th, and Chargers at 5. Tuke, you can go and take it away for your picks.
Yeah, so just like Sharky said with the Rams, I mean, he took the words right out of my mouth as far as like looking at the strength of schedule and just watching the teams that they've beaten, which are pretty good teams. They did take an L against Arizona, but we all just saw, Arizona is the number 1 team in the NFL right now. So I really didn't hold it too much against them. But they are a complete team defensively. They run a game. Shout out to Darrell Henderson doing his thing. Their quarterback is turning up. So, I mean, LA Rams got a really good, consistent team that I think are going to be consistent as the season goes on. As far as the second whatever team that's next, no, but straight up, like I was texting Sheedy like during the game when we were playing, they were playing us, and I'm like, bro, y'all are looking really, really good. Like I couldn't hate it all. Ezekiel Elliott decided to have his comeback game against us, but that's neither here and there. Dak was doing his thing. Their defense, what the hell are they doing with taking my guy Sammy D out there? Like, my Panthers' offensive line looked like one of the worst in the league. I know it's not the case. I know some would say, granted, C-Mac didn't play, J.C. Horn didn't play or whatnot, but I think now, and I can say, like I told you, like y'all are here, like the Cowboys are finally here. I'm not gonna say what y'all say every year as far as y'all going to the Super Bowl, but y'all, this is probably one of the better Cowboys teams I've seen in a long time. So I had to give his flowers there, and I hope they lose this week. But as far as the Bills go, of course, like you said, Sharky, strength of schedule, but at the same time, they are 3-1 and like averaging 35 points a game. Like, that's there. And then the Chargers, another complete team. They also lost against the Cowboys, but they have wins against the Raiders and the Chiefs. So, I mean, that's a top 5 team. So.
Yeah. And I just will take that down because I don't need it. And so for me, I think the surprise there was I didn't put the Cowboys in any of my slots.
What's up with that, man? Are you really a Cowboys fan if you don't have them as a top 5 team? Like they just beat the #1 defense last week.
Yeah, but and it also goes to our point also about like strength of schedule, who the Panthers beat and who they beat. Right? They're not the greatest teams, but I'm still shaky. Like if we would have had more of a dominant performance against the Panthers, I would have said that. Now, granted, like I said, you and I were texting, and it got to a point where like we literally took out star players, which I still don't have a reason why we did that, and allowed y'all to score 2 touchdowns. Momentum is a killer. Like if the momentum starts to swing your guys' way, we could have lost that game. And so until they understand that killer mentality, so to speak, no, I cannot have them. But you also have to think there are like at this time what was like 12 to 14 teams that were, or 12 teams that are like 3-1 at the time. We didn't have the Browns on the list, right? Who only lost to the Chiefs. Realistically, and that could have been 4-0, and some other teams, the Raiders, of course. But I had the Bills at 2, and honestly, to the point differential, yeah, I know they only beat the Dolphins, Texas, and Washington, but it was still 118-21. 118-21. I can't say anything about that. The Rams only loss was to the Cards. We all agreed that the Cards are the best team in football right now. Now I know no one had the Ravens, but I had the Ravens. I think maybe just I believe in them a little bit more. But we were high on the Broncos defense, but Lamar threw for 300 at Mile High. They beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. They beat the Browns as well. They did lose to the Raiders, but that just took overtime. And they did hit that field goal to win the game against the Lions. A miracle at that, which does raise Justin Tucker. Probably is the first and only kicker that I'll ever have a 99 overall on Madden. It could have been.
I think I got a win that week because Justin Tucker got me double digits.
You probably got 6 points out there, 1 field goal.
Yeah. And then the last one is the Chargers. Man, I think they're just an up and coming team. I chose them to win the game this week as well, as they play against the Browns. I mean, they beat Washington. Yeah, they lost to Dallas, but they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. That's the 2 losses there. Ravens and Chargers beat the Chiefs, and they beat an undefeated Raiders team at the time too. And so that's Savage's team is the Raiders, right? I didn't see them in his top 5.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Chargers will get a closer look from me after Monday's game because of their dominant performance against the Raiders. The Cowboys, to your point, they haven't really looked dominant in their wins. Despite them having been 3-1, they still could have very easily lost that game to Carolina. Same thing with Carolina. Carolina has beaten the teams they're supposed to beat. Dallas was just their first
about to do it again Sunday.
It was their first real test.
Nah, that's not Savage team though.
That's true. He changed.
I don't know who his team is.
He didn't get you a bandwagon form. I thought he was a bandwagon.
We need to start picking up on Savage and stuff a little bit more. Like how Skylar does when he goes last, so he can change his pick. Like Savage will disappear from the podcast and start making these ridiculous takes. And then
so he ain't got to bag it up, man.
So that way he can come back on the podcast and bag it up. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Savage. Whenever the time comes, you need to come back and answer for your crime, sir.
Let's listen to another commandment about one Skylar, man. Don't entertain people when they're bored. Let's just not entertain Savage.
Bingo.
So he's just bored because his team ain't worthy of watching. Okay. How many times are we going to allow somebody to jump bandwagon like Savage has done? Because he's had 2 teams so far, and it's only week 5.
We're just not going to entertain him.
Okay.
I like that.
Let it be.
Commandment.
Remember, Jalen Hurts supposed to be a superstar.
Hey, if they somehow win this week, he'll be all on the Eagles. Back on the Eagles.
Just don't entertain them. Took, if they win, just don't entertain them. Just
I may block them.
Yeah,
I know I'm still pissed on that 1 point Aaron Rodgers thing. Savage acting like he didn't have the whole squad against me No, Aaron Rodgers literally scored 1 point. Get the hell out of my phone, man. Come on, man. No, dog. If Aaron Rodgers get 1 more point, I win that series. I win that week. No,
you do though. That's
but
crazy.
it is what it is.
But back to Steve's point about the Bills. Like I said, we had so many 3-1 teams. The Bills, the next 2 weeks, they'll show me if they're top 5. They play at the Chiefs and they play at the Titans on Monday night next week.
Yeah, like I said, this top 5, all 5 of these teams could not be on this list next week for week 5.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very strong chance. So.
And that's the crazy one of the rest seasons where we only got one undefeated team left. So they made it easier pretty much. Then everybody else, you got so many 3-1 teams, 2-2 teams. It's not that many teams with 0 wins. I think the Lions and
the Lions and the Jaguars
and the Urban Meyer,
and the Texans.
No, Texas they beat the Jaguars.
They beat the Jaguars. Okay, so just Detroit and Jacksonville.
The Jacksonville Myers, Jacksonville Myers.
Yeah, Titans better not lose it tomorrow. I know that. All right. It's time for, I got 2 now for Would You Rather. First up, we got the big fight tonight. It's been a couple years. We all watched together last time. I'm going to watch together this time. Who winning? Wilder, Fury. 3.
I'm going to let y'all boxing heads take this one first.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just say it like this here. My man put on the Undertaker hat, and the Undertaker is backing him. I'm taking him. If you don't know who, do your research. But it ain't gonna be the guy that looks like us. So I think that how about I call him Big Churro? Big Ty has got it. I feel like I don't even know what he just has. His power and punching is incredible. Don't get me wrong, Wilder has some too. But Fury's body shots are going to cripple Wilder. And unless Wilder has been doing squats and calf raises this entire time, it's over with because he's going to get that bite. He's going to start rocking a little bit more, and he's going to start shaking, looking like Bambi again in my fall. So, yes, give me the Undertaker's bid of Big Ty Fury.
I like how you incorporated the Undertaker there. That's what's up. I did see that video. As a fan of Wilder, I want Wilder to win this fight, 100%. But I find myself after all the smack talking, after all the videos he's posting on social media, I find myself asking the same question: can you box though? Like, we know you have punching power. We know you can knock somebody out. Can you box? Like, can you legit stand in the ring and obtain more points per se than the other guy to win the fight? And nothing that I've seen or heard has convinced me otherwise. So I'm going to take Tyson Fury here. I got to see it to believe it.
And I feel the same as Trevor. I want to say so bad Wilder's about to pull out this upset. But even just watching the weigh-ins last night, it just don't look like he looks like he acts the same way. He hasn't changed. And you would think somebody who got humbled like that would be more humble. I don't see anything. Nothing showed me that he's gonna pull off this upset. Unless Tyson Fury has gotten too cocky. And
that's the only way. And I think he's locked in. I think he's like 100% locked in because he knows that he has Wilder's number now. He knows that he can beat him. So,
and they're the heaviest.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like there was a draw in the first one, right?
Yeah.
And Fury won the second one.
Fury. A lot of people thought Fury probably, like, Deontay Wilder knocked him down and he got up before 10 seconds was up. But a lot of people thought Fury outboxed him. Like,
Wilder knocked Fury down in the first 2 fights. So it is no evidence that Wilder can land. If he lands a good punch on Fury, he can knock him down and knock him out. But Fury outboxed him
at this point. Like, if I'm going into a fight and I'm 1-1 should be 2-0. Like, it's time for me to go ahead and do what I'm supposed to do. So it may be a quick one, to be honest with you. Like, just thinking from just a mental aspect. Like, Fury might want to go ahead and get this over with. Round 3, that's the last of it. Like, let me go ahead and put him away so I can go ahead and claim my kingship. So,
well, we also got a WNBA Finals matchup. So Savage actually does have a team that he actually does commit to in the Las Vegas Aces,
For now.
who got put out last night.
Oh man, that hurt. That hurt so bad, man.
Love to see it. Sorry, Agent Wilson. Love to see it though. Had to take Savage out, man. You can't mess with goats, man. I don't care what their regular season record is. Candace Parker. Chicago Sky, my squad. Yes, I followed. Yes, I was a Sparks fan. I followed.
I was ready to break it down too, man.
Sorry, Trevor. That's what you
maybe
get.
Next year.
That's what you get for choosing Savage. It's the same team as Savage, man.
Right.
He also changed his NBA coaching team this year too.
We got the same team, but it's for different reasons. Like his favorite player is A'ja Wilson. My favorite player is Liz Campage. So
hey, she got blocked by the GOAT last night. I was
it
is
what it is. It is.
I jumped up like what?
It is what it is.
Because soon they had to switch, I was like, this is mismatch throw too, and they did it. I was like, bro.
Yeah, I was like, come on now.
Then she sprayed the three. After. I was like, man, that's a GOAT.
Yeah.
Hey, you just can't be GOATs, man. But we got a couple GOATs. Diana Taurasi versus Candace Parker in the NBA and WNBA Finals. I think this is the lowest percentage of like regular season record because the Chicago Sky was 16-16 and Phoenix was 19-13, mainly because of injury. Diana Taurasi was in and out, and Skylar Diggins and Brittany Griner, they all were in and out throughout the season. But when you got those three healthy at the same time, that's three superstars. So including the GOAT. And Candace Parker is Candace Parker. So who you got in WNBA Finals? Chicago Sky, Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi, and the Phoenix Mercury.
Man, I go first. Like I told y'all yesterday, one of my favorite memories growing up in basketball period is watching the UConn and Tennessee games, with Candace and Diana Taurasi with my mom. So to see them in the WNBA Finals is gonna be great. Of course, I'm gonna roll with the quote unquote hometown team and the GOAT, Phoenix Mercury. Like you said, Sharky, once you get three healthy GOATs on the court together, it's gonna be hard to stop. Salute to Candace Parker for going to her hometown and turning up Chicago like that. But give me the Mercury.
Yeah, I said the reason why I wanted to be a part of WNBA basketball or be more in tune with it this year was Candace Parker and her return. And I'm gonna keep riding that bandwagon, whether it's 16-16, 14-12, it doesn't even matter. And just like I said earlier, momentum is a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug. And sometimes it takes momentum to beat, to you guys' point, three GOATs, i.e., look at the 2011 finals, the Mavericks going against the Heatles. So give me Candace Parker and that Chicago team to pull it out. I don't care how many games it takes, just give them the ship.
Yeah, it's all about momentum, as she just said, and Chicago is riding high right now. I think I did big up before the WNBA season started back. I did big up Phoenix as being a legit threat to the championship or whatever. My eye is gonna, because I know what I'm gonna get from Candace. I know what I'm gonna get for Diana Taurasi. My eye is gonna be on Skylar Diggins-Smith. If she's gonna be key in this series, if she's gonna seize the moment for Phoenix, then Phoenix kind of just walks away with it. But Chicago's just on a whole nother level. Like I'm catching those 2011 Dallas Mavs vibes with Chicago. So give me Chicago, however many games it takes.
Man, I want so bad for my girl Candace to get her second. Diana Taurasi is 39 now. This might be it. This might be her last legit shot. Who knows? It might not be. It might be. I don't see her losing. This might be it. This might be her last time. I don't think she retired after this year, but I think when Seattle gets back healthy with Breanna Stewart next year, Las Vegas will be back next year as well. So it's gonna be tough. Give me the GOAT. Phoenix in five games. It's gonna go to full distance. It's gonna be a really good series. I just think Brittany Griner will be the difference. You got Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner just like Now hopefully the Chicago Sky draws to a better place than Bill Laimbeer did. Have A'ja Wilson go at Brittany Griner. Candace Parker don't need to smoke. She needs to
I should have. When you have somebody who has very much ill will towards the real GOAT for reasons, obviously. You expect stuff like that. So I'm still not over that. Like, the only thing that cheered me up from that was waking up and remembering that the Vols were over 500. Like, I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah, looking good
Because
so
I'm
far.
like, you don't run no pin downs. Like, you need to get Asia Wilson in space, or at least get her going downhill to where that she can make a play. You have her catch it, turn, and trying to go right at Brittany Griner. I'm like, yeah, this play didn't. Of course, this didn't work. Like,
Right, Gritty Grinder snatched the giant. She didn't even
yeah,
block.
I'm like, of course, this didn't work. Like, you gotta give her the opportunity to operate in space. Like, give her in space, or get her going downhill to where Phoenix has to do something. They either foul or they just give up the bucket. But I was just appalled at that. That really hurt. So,
well, game 1 is tomorrow and game 2 is Wednesday. You can get in one ticket in that thing. Man, try and get in the game, man.
Man,
I'm actually free Wednesday, so I'm gonna definitely try to. I'm actually free Wednesday.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Pray for me.
Supporting women's basketball like we supposed to. Yes. Look.
Of course, there may be forces out of my hand that won't allow me to step into the arena, but that's neither here and there. But we're gonna see. If not, I'll just enjoy the vibes. That's close by though.
All right.
So, anybody else got a would you rather? Cool. Once again, be on the lookout. Most wonderful time of the year. Blog will be coming out. I'm gonna try and get it out next week. Right, the WNBA Finals going on. Baseball playoffs, college football, Memphis Madness next week. Whole lot of things going on in the field. In NBA preseason, Grizzlies looking good so far. Check us out. Start at 5 every Monday from here on out. We'll be right there with you on all recording platforms. Let's tighten up every week, almost every week, unless I'm just tired. I ain't gonna front. I'm tired. I skip. Say I'm gonna record a quick video or tell you my thoughts on Twitter. Shout out to my past. Shout out to our guest pastor last week. Telling us not to complain for 24 hours. It definitely helped because the Titans, the way they played Sunday, I said, you know what? They ain't finna ruin my day. Woke up Monday morning, they not finna ruin my week. I ain't feel like complaining no more. Let's move on this week against Jacksonville.
See,
so you mentally just telling yourself it's not gonna ruin my day helps.
Yep, man, help.
See, I should have.
I'm proud of you, bro.
See, I should have took your advice last week for the Steelers game.
Yeah, I did. You was kind of still feel for
that ridiculous non-offside call happened that would have put us up by. I should have took your advice. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, man. Point.
That non-offsides, man. That shit hurt. I'm not gonna lie, because that would have changed the game, 100%.
Yep. Also, New School and She was out this week as well. Probably coming out with a new one. Simon 4 came out. We released it on the audio platform. Let's Be Real Sports. So.
Yeah, man, please check it out, man. That's Simon 4. We talked about a little bit more of COVID, talked more about Haiti as well. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is in full effect right now, and we're closing out on Hispanic Heritage Month, man. Just listen. I'm pretty sure I can give you like 2 to 3 talking points when you go to your next bar. But check me out. I think I'm going to drop another one this upcoming week because we got to keep it going.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Blissburg County is on hold because I got to get a new laptop. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. I would love to keep recording every week with this laptop, but this shot is on a day-to-day basis. It actually held up today, but it may not be the same tomorrow. So in order for me to give you guys the content that is worthy of that I know that it can be, I got to have a new laptop. I got to have some new equipment. So let me get that up first. And who knows if Pittsburgh's at 500 or something, I may just pop back, or I might just do a full season analysis once everything's done. So, hey, that's it.
For sure. Life happens, man. So, everybody, we all understand it. But before we end off, get the promo going. Welcome to Let's Be Real Media, a podcast network that provides your official game plan for sports, culture, and music. Headlined by the Let's Be Real podcast, featuring P Shark, Sky Lido, Tail Shakir, Trevor, Sheedy, and Savage, and includes other podcasts like the I Don't Know Sports podcast by Savage, the Let's Tighten Up podcast by P Shark, Scooting with Sheedy, by none other, the name says it itself, Sheedy, Pittsburgh County Podcast by Trevor, and Let's Talk About It by Uncle Mike. You can follow us on social media at LB Real Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And as you can see, the website, go on the website, lbrealmedia.com to check us out. Thanks. All right, there you go. Remember to follow us on all platforms. And for Starting Five Podcast, Starting Five to number 5 MEM on Twitter, as we're about to turn it up, as the Grizzlies seem to be turning it up with the fire alarm in the first preseason game I was at. So until next time.